Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Everybody's Got a Podcast. I'm your host, T-Dot. Make sure you follow me on social media, Twitter at Everybody's Got One, Instagram, Facebook, Everybody's Got a Podcast. Also, make sure to check out my t-shirts if you want to support the show. Head over to animatedtdot.threadless.com. Okay, so let's talk about it. The Guise of Justice. It's so funny how much I hear people talk in person and online about how there is justice in America and how much they believe in the justice system here. Usually I determine that these people are naive and haven't experienced or overlooked justice or injustice when it happens because it doesn't affect them or it hasn't happened often enough to them to become a concern. So recently I watched the Netflix documentary series called Time, the Kalief Browder story, and I highly recommend it. I heard Kalief Browder's story years ago because it was featured in another documentary that I watched, and shortly after I watched it, I heard about his unfortunate suicide after being set free. So Kalief Browder spent 3 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Can you believe that? 3 years. Oh, you've heard this story before. Did you hear the part where the COs would beat him and let the inmates beat him? Did you hear the part that the COs would starve him while in solitary confinement? Did you also hear that he was in solitary confinement for about 14 months straight? I'm sure you've heard stories similar to this, but not this one, not this detailed. It's a sad state of living in America, the land of the free, and I'm doing air quotes, where innocent men can be sent to prison with no substantial evidence, waiting on a trial for years, and their only recourse is to take a plea deal from the DA that offers a minimum jail time if you plead guilty, regardless if they have the evidence to prove it or not. So let's see. I'm a man that's been beaten down mentally, physically, emotionally for months or years for a crime I didn't commit. And they have no evidence to convict me. But they offer me a chance to get out sooner with the plea deal. It's a no-brainer, right? And that's about 97% of the people in jail right now. That's what they're facing. Kalief was different in the sense that he stood up for his rights to a trial by his peers, but was denied because of this bullshit system that operates on DAs who want to increase their batting averages, but in this case, we're talking about human lives. Yet they dismiss and play with the laws so that they never or rarely lose a case. All the while, a man, woman's life is severely impacted because they can't post bail. And they can't afford an attorney who would take the time to look at their case with eagle eyes, unlike public defenders who have hundreds of cases that they can't even give you the time, or they can't put focus on your case because they just overwhelmed. That's not how justice works. Or rather, that's not how it's supposed to work. But it's the world we live in. A world where people turn a blind eye, especially to black people in these situations, because their skin color, along with their prison jumpsuit that says guilty. Even though time and time again, we've had cases where a man gets exonerated for a crime he did commit because of modern technology, or after an appeal where another judge determines that the evidence wasn't strong enough to convict. But even that's not enough for society to say, this shit is wrong. It's not enough. But a big aspect that is often overlooked is the mental damage done to a person in this situation. it's similar, if not worse, than what veterans have to deal with. I feel it's a bit worse because you're in a cage with nothing but animosity, anger, all built up, waiting to explode on a daily basis, and you can't get out until some jackass DA offers you a plea deal. And the mental anguish, this type of mental anguish, can crush the strongest man. Mind you, Khalif was a juvenile when he entered this system and was treated as an adult. And on many occasions, it was so bad he asked for psychiatric help. He was either denied or the psychiatrist would only visit him in his cell. That's some bullshit. So eventually, another judge sees this after it's been going on for 3 years and puts an end to it. But seriously, it took 3 years, countless judges, to see that the DA had no case and that this man hasn't even been convicted and should be set free? It took 3 years? Yeah, but like they say, this is America. This justice system it works. And I would ask the question, how? How does it work? When you have cases like this that exist in the thousands and get only a fraction of the attention because of the American motto, guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, you heard that right. Most Americans assume guilt before the facts are laid out. It's called guilty by public opinion. But I feel that opinion is just for black men. Because when white people are in the same situations or similar situations, all you hear is, well, I wonder what happened. Or I wonder what drove them to this point. Guess we gotta wait till the facts come out. Now, you could agree or disagree, but that's the nature of America to date. Now, when they show me something different, then this argument will be moot. But it also pains me to see lawyers take advantage of cases like this only for the national recognition and possible large payout for wrongdoing. But those are my thoughts. I suggest you watch the documentary for yourself and then share your thoughts with me. And just remember, you only have to look at the history of America to see that justice has always been blind. That's it for this episode. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.